So my name is Charlene Zapata, and I am from Boston, Mass.
All right.
Born and raised.
Born and raised.
Yep. I was at my part-time job, my second job, and I was waitressing, and I believe it was you, Crystal, and Ben was there with Kelsey, and you guys had all your kids. I was waitressing, and you guys seemed normal.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember if it was Crystal or yourself who gave me a StoryHeights card.
Okay.
So I had kept it in my wallet forever. And I hadn't been to church in like 10 years.
Right.
But I wanted to go for some reason because you guys seemed normal, unlike most church people. So, yeah, that's how I met you guys.
All right.
When I met you guys, I was already separated from Lenny's dad. I was stressed, I was overworked, I would come home and cry because I was so exhausted. And I met you guys, and I always believed in God. I grew up Catholic, but I didn't like church. I couldn't stand it. Church was boring. And even when I went to your group, because I don't know what called me to go, but I wanted to learn about the Bible, and I wanted to learn, it seems like a positive environment. But when I used to get there, it used to piss me off sometimes because everybody was just so rosy, and I felt like it was so unrealistic. But I liked the environment. It was positive, and I felt like you guys were for the most part open-minded, and that's why I kept coming back, which is unrelatable to most. When you think of Christianity, you don't think about that. You don't think about people being open-minded, and I think that's what turns a lot of people away. That's definitely what has turned me away, because I used to say, I believe in God, but I'm not religious. I'm not one of those religious freaks. I didn't want to be associated with that.
Right.
I kept going, so I started learning more. And it wasn't necessarily the people. I can't say that anyone necessarily touched me, but sometimes something stuck. And I remember I think that I was so angry at my ex and Lenny's dad or same person. I was so angry that it didn't let me live properly. And one day, Crystal said to me, I don't know the whole story. I don't know what really happened, but wouldn't it just be easier to forgive him? And I was like, I couldn't believe. I was like, no, you don't know what he did to me? Are you crazy? But I thought about it, and I kept thinking about it, and I called him that night, and I was like, I told him that I forgave him, and I didn't mean it 100%. But after that, I slept like I hadn't slept that night, and because I used to have nightmares about things that happened. So I had slept like I had never slept before, and that's when stuff started changing in me. My life just started changing. I have never felt maybe sad or alone since then. Before, if any problem I used to happen, it could have been anything. Like I had a bad day at work, I would feel depressed for some reason. I can't remember the last time I felt depressed. And that's how I know I've changed. I don't worry as much. I pray a lot more. And I read a chapter of the Bible every day. That's probably one of the things that are tangible that have changed about me, that I read the word. I never used to do that. So I downloaded the Bible on my church that someone from church taught me how to do. And I probably read a chapter every morning before I leave my house. And sometimes I'm confused about something, or I'm like, oh my God, what should I do? And through the word, it just, for some reason, it speaks to me. And I'm a lot more forgiving of others and of myself too. I think I definitely I've changed. I don't know, and a lot of times I say I've changed, but I don't know if I've changed or this is genuinely who I was and I was lost for a while. The church has definitely helped me by being persistent. I wouldn't show up to church for weeks at a time, and Crystal would be like, hi, I was concerned. I know what she really meant was, why haven't you been to church? I know that's what she really meant. Or you would text me, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go. Stop bothering me. I'm gonna go. Right. Because it's still hard for me to go to church sometimes because I didn't go for more than 10 years. Excuse me. I didn't go for more than 10 years, and sometimes I just don't like going. Or sometimes I go and I'm just like, ugh, not because of anything, but sometimes I want to relate. I want to feel, and sometimes I don't relate. Not all the time.
I got you.
I want to live more like what he wants me to live like, whatever that may be. Because I feel like humans don't know the answer. Usually we don't. We're not perfect.
Right.
So I want to be able to live more. I want to be more Jesus-like.